What is going on, everyone? I am the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scrub, but you can call me Bailey. My hair is a bit of a mess, but you know how it be sometimes. I don't need to worry about my appearance. I need to worry about giving you guys content. Apologies for the few days off. We had a friend coming over, and the library becomes the guest bedroom. And, I want to give them their space, of course, while they're staying with us. Just due respect. And that just means that, didn't really have access to my computer too much to be able to record, but that's fine. I'm here now recording. This one will probably go at Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. Thanks for all the memes. Regardless, we have a viewer suggestion today. Two people actually asked for it, which is why, I'm doing it a little bit earlier. Vegeta, always see you commenting, long-time viewer, long-time commenter, and he thought he had a spicy idea with the final attack orders and skill drain, Goblin Attack Force, Giant Orc. I didn't even think about YuGiOh. I like that idea, but I'm not going to use it right now in this version. And of course, easy to beat down, big summons for your opponent, and then DCLNGHDL. I feel like it's one of those, kind of accounts that people make. Obviously, real commenter, left a comment. Thank you very much. Watching videos for a while. Appreciate it. Wanted me to also play Final Attack Order with Skill Drain, thinks it can work somehow, and I agree with both of you, which is why I've put this together. It took inspiration, you can go on GoFormat.com, just look up like a Final Attack Order Skill Drain deck, and, pretty standard comes together as I start building it. Which, what are the monsters that work? Let's talk about that. Of course, Final Attack Orders and Skill Drain, you guys probably know what they do. Skill Drain, just, negates everything on the field. Final Attack Orders, everything, including when a monster is flipped face up. So if you attack like a face down spy, when it gets flipped face up in that battle phase, it automatically goes to attack. So there are things you can do, running like a giant rat version, like a recruiter, and you attack a Dekoichi, and then you crash with the Dekoichi. So there's stuff like that to know about, and we'll see if that comes up. But they do work together, so Skill Drain negates effects, Final Attack Order switches things to attack, so you want cards that are, big and beefy. You guys already see here, most of you probably know, but a few might not. The Giant Orc and Goblin Attack Force are like the two big ones that automatically come to mind, because both of them have the same effect. Big, beefy monsters, 2300, 2200 respectively, and after they attack, they go to defense for the next turn. And your next turn. So all of your opponent's turn, all of your turn, you can't switch them back to attack, and then all of your opponent's next turn, they'll still be in defense, because obviously you can't switch during your turn, unless you have Final Attack Orders set. Then you can do some kind of cheeky things, like your opponent attacks what they think is a defense position, then you flip up Final Attack Orders, goes to attack, they ram into it, because they don't have an opportunity to redeclare when that happens, since changing positions on the field doesn't change like anything in terms of allowing for a redeclare. But these two monsters are just big and beefy, and when their effects are negated, they don't go to defense, and Final Attack Orders also just keeps them in attack. The other two monsters that work really well are Zombira the Dark and Fusilier. These cards don't benefit as much from Final Attack Orders, but definitely benefit from Skill Drain. Zombira can just start becoming attacking directly and doesn't lose its 200 attack. Also, if it's already lost attack and then you negate it, it will go back to 2100, which I believe. Now, I am curious. I think if it's negated, this isn't a ruling I know off the top of my head. If it's negated and then, say, they destroy Skill Drain a turn or two later, say it destroyed 3 monsters, went down to, what would that be, 1500 attack. Then you use Skill Drain, and then your opponent, does it go back to 21? I think it would be at 21 again, but I don't know for sure. Let me know in the comments. You guys know more than I do. And then Fusilier Dragon is a monster that you can normal summon or set without tribute. Normally, its attack becomes halved, but with Skill Drain on the field, it goes to 2800, which is really big and beefy. Another card that works well in this deck is Deck Devastation Virus. You have Fusilier, Giant Orc, and Zombira the Dark. Fusilier has to, I believe, have Skill Drain up. I always forget. I feel like I've looked it up before, and I don't know if you can set it. I think you can in the GOAT format set Fusilier, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not going to try to do that. I hope that ruling doesn't come up this episode. Other monsters, we just have the DD Warrior Lady and Exile Force. Exile Force can tribute itself to get under Skill Drain, so once it's off the field by tributing itself for cost, then because it's no longer on the field, Skill Drain can't negate it, and then it will pop the monster. DD Warrior Lady, unfortunately, does get negated by Skill Drain, but we're running the one Sangan because it's another monster that can activate regardless of Skill Drain being up, because it activates in the graveyard, and we just needed another monster to search. Also, it's a warrior, so we can rota it. Goblin Attack Force is a warrior, so that works. Deck Devastation Virus, like I said, works with Zombira, Fusilier, or Giant Orc. And then other cards, we have triple Solemn Judgment, because of course we need to protect our Skill Drain and Final Attack Orders, or to stop whatever opponent needs to do. And 2 Fake Traps. trap, because it basically acts as Solemn Judgment numbers 4 and 5, keeping your final attack orders and skill drain safe, which these are our win conditions, basically, is keeping these on the field and just big beatdown. Very reliant on your normal summon, because you don't have like a normal Earth aggro deck, has Gigantes to special summon and put a lot of pressure. This is basically one normal summon a turn, and you just have to make sure that goes through. So Solemn Judgments are also going to be really big to like make sure Torrentials or Mirror Forces don't go off, but we'll just, play as we go. A couple Dust Tornadoes on the side. Something I was interested in is Possessed Dark Soul. I've been watching a couple of Cubs videos, Cub games, great other GOAT channel. Go check him out. But Possessed Dark Soul is coming clutch for him, and this is another card like Exiled Force that tributes itself for cost. So, say your opponent has a bunch of Scapegoat tokens, or maybe they're running a Water aggro, and they have like level 4 water monsters that are made level 3 by a legendary ocean. You can tribute the Possessed Dark Soul and take all face-up level 3 or lower monsters, so that can be pretty powerful. We do have a Breaker on the side, of course. It doesn't really work with a skill drain, but if we run into a Decree deck, we absolutely need Breaker. Also, Dust Tornadoes don't work under Decree, but we have the Heavy Storm on the side. Lightning Vortex, because we need ways to get rid of GOAT tokens, potentially, just because we can't really run Tribe Infecting Virus. Maybe we should still be running it, just in case skill drain isn't up. But if they have GOAT tokens, that can really slow you down, since we are only one normal summon a turn. And that's why you want it. Also, Torrential on the side, same thing, because we are reliant on our normal summon. Really don't want to be losing our monsters on the field, so that's why we have Torrential on the side, but it's a good enough card to keep on the side. Bottomless Trapple, I just thought like maybe it can deal with some Chaos monsters. This deck has a pretty decent matchup in Chaos, just because they rely so much on flips, and Skill Drain kind of just says no to any flips. That's why we don't need Mind Controls, per se, in this deck. But I wanted Bottomless, because if they special summon a Chaos Sorcerer or a BLS, we kind of need to get that off the field. So I don't know, I'm just trying them out. We'll see. This is the deck I came up with today. Let's go ahead and join the GOAT format ladder. Click, as always, this button for your viewing pleasure. You guys don't want to see that. I mean, that's my cool little deck profile of me, myself, and Caius the Shadow Monarch being sent to the Shadow Realm, or the Banishment as it's now known. Even though it was also... Why didn't they do that? They should have called the Banishment the Shadow Realm. Just like, it's so Yu-Gi-Oh! But then they'd have to like change all the cards that say Banish to put cards into the Shadow Realm. But that would just be so cool. Alright. We win the rock, paper, scissors, picking scissors. Let's wish my opponent some luck and fun. And we will be going first. We're playing XYZ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening hand is... decent. Ring of Destruction, Deck Dev, Fake Trap, DD Warrior Lady, Nobleman, and Goblin Attack Force. I think here we're just going to summon the DD Warrior Lady. We don't really want to play into a Nobleman across out. There's just no need. Nothing in our deck really gets set, so we don't need to bait out a Nobleman or anything like that. So I think we'll just summon the DD Warrior Lady and set the Ring of Destruction for good measure. No need to set the Deck Dev, because we don't have a target for it at the moment. Deck Dev's also a card that's good in some matchups, but also pretty bad in other matchups, like a Warrior or Earth aggro doesn't really do much, but there's not many decks that can effectively run Deck Devastation Virus, which is why we are going to run it in the main right now. The deck that I kind of took the inspiration from when I was researching didn't have Deck Dev in the main. I don't even know if it was in the side, but I thought it was good enough to put in the main, just because it's fun. I'm not about optimal strategies. I'm more about fun on this channel, as you guys hopefully know by this point after over 200 videos. Kind of crazy to think about. I know I had a good bit when I first started, and of course, we're running into the Royal Decree deck already. Don't you love to see it? Opponent Delinquent Duos. That's fine. Hits the Deck Dev, and I think we'll get rid of the Fake Trap. No need for Fake Trap when my opponent's running Royal Decree. So, just, all I was going to say is, I just hope we don't run into a Decree deck, and we don't even run into a Decree deck that's running it in the side. We run into a deck immediately that's playing it in the main, so you just love to see that. He MSTs my Ring of Destruction, but DD Warrior Lady is pretty good defense in a way on the board itself. At least I don't think I have to fear many monsters, and he has Snatch Steal, which is one of the best cards to Snatch Steal is DD Warrior Lady, but he tributes for Jinzo, which unfortunately is also really big and beefy. This is not a great start for us, guys. We get Rhoda, though. That is an immediate way, because we can get Exiled Force and just get rid of this Jinzo right away. Get that out of here. I don't want to see that. We'll set the Nobleman across out. He's already used MST, so I'm not necessarily afraid of it. And just put something to make him a little fearful. Hopefully he just sets a monster here. Alright. I wasn't sure what he was running, but I'm already loving it. Twin-headed Behemoth. Still don't love the decrees, but anytime you see Twin-headed Behemoth, you just gotta respect it. Alright, and I think we're going to Premature Burial, because I don't want to give him the Twin-headed Behemoth back, so we're going to Premature for DD Warrior Lady. Summon Goblin Attack Force. Attack and Banish. And attack directly with Goblin Attack Force. I wish we had final attack orders, but what can you do? Maybe we draw it this turn. We get Fake Trap. Not great. Not terrible. End our turn again. Hopefully he doesn't draw a monster this turn. Maybe I shouldn't have set the Fake Trap, because he could be running Soul Exchange and Mobius, because it seems like with the Twin-headed Behemoth he's running some sort of heavy tribute deck. Sangan would be bad. I'm sure he's got to be running probably Spies. Premature Burial. That's also unfortunate. We've already gone through Exiled and DD Warrior Lady, so we're basically reliant. I don't even know what Snatch Steal can deal with the Jinzo. So let's see. Sinister Serpent Summon. So he's going to get in for 24. We don't have Scapegoats. He might just be taking game one pretty fast. We get Fusilier. Well, I think that can keep us alive. No, it's not quite enough, unfortunately. I think we'll give him the game, because there's no way we can win. Like, even if we summon the Fusilier. I suppose we can set the Fusilier. Yeah, I mean, we'll try it. I don't want to quit right away. If we set Fusilier, he kind of has to attack with the Jinzo. If he summons a monster big enough to get over Fusilier, which he doesn't, so Fusilier will die. We'll take 300 from a Sinister Serpent attack, but maybe we can draw Snatch Steal. Get another Fusilier. We'll do the same thing, I suppose. He's already seen one, so I'm not so afraid of having him see another. Also, if you see Deck Devastation Virus, you can kind of assume, okay, he summons a Gravekeeper Spy. We're just going to let him have that game. Alright. So, I think Lightning Vortex seems pretty good. What else is good in this matchup? Gotta bring in Breaker for that Decree. Heavy Storm for the Decree. I think we will take out Deck Dev. Doesn't seem that great. It's okay. Noblemans are good against Spies. Maybe take out the Sangan. Sangan can get me some of the outs for Jinzo. Maybe Mirror Force is a little slow. Skill Drain Solemn can be good. Maybe one final attack orders. Yeah, I'll take out one final attack orders. Okay. And we'll be going first again, but didn't go great for us last time, so let's see. He did have a lot of good outs, though, with the DD Warrior Lady. He opened up Graceful Charity. Opening hand this time is Graceful of our own. We have Nobleman, Sangan, Zombira, Fake Trap, Final Attack Orders, Graceful Charity. I think we'll start with Graceful Charity. Getting Snatch Steal, Solemn, and Goblin Attack Force. I think we'll discard probably Zombira, because we don't have a Skill Drain. Though Zombira can deal with a Spy, but we have Nobleman across out to deal with the Spy. We'll get rid of the Zombira, and maybe we do get rid of the Sangan as well. Snatch Steal seems too good. Yeah, I'll get rid of Sangan. And then we will summon Goblin Attack Force, set Fake Trap, Final Attack Orders, Solemn Judgment, and pass our turn. And let's see what he does here. Standby is good. No Trap Dust Shoot coming from me. Though I feel like Trap Dust Shoot could be pretty good in this deck. Do we want to Solemn? I think we might, because we have the Fake Trap. So I want to keep those two cards. I don't want to go -1. This might be a throw right away. But it's been a little bit since I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's my excuse, guys. It's been a few days. Little rusty. Though I don't even know if it's the wrong call. I think Snatch Steal against a Tribute deck is just really, really powerful. And if that's a Gravekeeper's Spy, Nobleman of Crossout becomes really, really good. Doesn't look like Heavy Storm right away. And he sets a back row. Alright. We will summon the Giant Orc. Activate the Nobleman of Crossout. Gravekeeper's Spy? Maybe. Maybe. Mystic Tomato. I'm fine. They don't get. Yeah. Alright, he caught himself. They don't get banished. It's not a flip monster, so Mystic Tomato stays. We will attack with the Giant Orc. No problem. These will both go to defense. I'm imagining that might be a Royal Decree face down. Still really like having the Snatch Steal in our hand. And, I mean, we just did a bunch of damage. He did 1,000 to himself, and then we did 4,500. I hope he summons Breaker. That's fine. He can get rid of Fake Trap. He's going to try to run over one of the monsters. And it will use final attack orders. And if he doesn't have a response, okay, so he does have the Decree. So Goblin Attack Force will die. I figured that was the case. And I don't know. We get Fusilier. 14, yeah, I mean, so we have game. Snatch Steal, the Breaker, summon Fusilier. This is 1,400. Alright, so we get game 2. And I think it worked out pretty well last time. We're just going to go right back in. I think against a matchup with Royal Decree, this is the best thing we got at the moment. Graceful Charity, Reinforcement of the Army, Call of the Haunted, Final Attack Orders, Giant Orc. I like seeing Final Attack and Giant Orc. But let's see what my opponent has. Does he have Delinquent Duo again? Nope, he just has a set monster. And a set back row. So maybe that's a Decree. We have 2 final attack orders. Let us go ahead, I think. We'll start. The question is, do we Rhoda for Exiled? Or do we Graceful Charity? We're going to Graceful Charity. Getting Skill Drain, like that. DD Warrior Lady, and Fusilier. I think we discard. This is actually kind of tough. I think DD Warrior Lady, given our hand, is pretty fine to discard. We have Rhoda in case he does have a Jinzo or something along those lines. Though DD Warrior Lady might be the best summon here. If it is like a Mystic Tomato. Maybe it's Fusilier. We'll go DD Warrior Lady and 1 final attack orders because we have 2. Though we don't have a way to protect our traps at the moment, which is a little unfortunate. Though Call of the Haunted is alright. We'll summon the Giant Orc and try to attack. It was a Sangan. Okay, so I'm happy I didn't waste Exiled on that. I did think about keeping the DD Warrior Lady for like a Mystic Tomato or Sangan, but I think it's fine that we just give him a search. This will go to defense. And we'll then, I think, we'll set both Skill Drain and Final Attack and flip the Decree in the end phase. No Decree right away, so what I might be able to do is bait out the Decree and then chain Final Attack to the Decree, which would still be negated, but for that split second while it's resolving the chain, it would go to attack. Because it would resolve Chain Link 3, put Giant Orc into attack, then get negated Chain Link 2. We're going to have to just go for it here, though. Does he have a decree? Alright, so he uses a Book of Moon to set the giant orc, and that will destroy it. Because it's only face up. Wait, no. What am I thinking? Let's click. So, it will get set, flip, go to attack. It gets flipped and then changes to attack. If you have a set if a set monster is attacked, it changes final attack orders, changes it to attack during the damage step. Like if I attack a spy, it would. Yeah, he understands. Okay. It's a weird ruling. Almost didn't even catch it myself. Okay. So, we're in a pretty solid position here. Getting a call. Unfortunately, can't take it right this second, but alright, we will use Delinquent Duo that we just drew for turn. Hit that card. Horus, a Black Flame Dragon, level 8. Okay, very interesting. Wasn't expecting to see that. And Magician of Faith. Here, I think we're going to keep the Rhoda in case he has like a Jinzo or something. We'll summon Fusilier. 1400. 1000. Attack with Giant Orc. We're going to flip the skill drain. Pay 1000. And this will make it 2800. 2000 again. So we should take 1400 more. When I declare with Fusilier, I'm gonna use Drain. Okay. So 1400, 1000. But he didn't use it in response to the Giant Orc attack. I think we'll set Call of the Haunted. If he wants to get rid of Royal Decree with a Heavy Storm, fine by me. Skill Drain's negated. He sets a monster, passes turn. We get another Rhoda, and 22 plus 14 is game. So we'll Rhoda for Exiled. Summon Exiled, declare, tribute itself. GG's. Alright, and let's go find the next match. Still can't believe I almost screwed myself over. I wonder if anyone was typing a comment as that was happening. Also, my camera, it's like not stable. It's not on anything. It's just like resting on top of my monitor. So the more I like move, it always just finds its way to tilt a little bit. It's a little frustrating. Okay, opening hand this time is Fusilier, Zombira, Goblin Attack Force, Skill Drain, Nobleman Across Out, Ring of Destruction. I think here We will set Fusilier, set Skill Drain. We'll set Ring. Don't have Heavy Storm. It's like, what? 15% chance? 20? Just don't have Heavy Storm. Pot of Greed. Unfortunate, but fine. My idea is here that I want him to summon a monster and try to attack into the Fusilier. And then I'll be able to use Skill Drain. Alright, he just sets a back row and passes. I'm going to be aggressive here. I'm going to summon Zombira, and maybe he's thinking, oh, this doesn't matter. Good. Flip Fusilier. 1400. 1000. Battle phase. Attack. Use Skill Drain. And attack. Okay, so he takes 28. Does he take 21? Is this just game? I don't think so. It's going to put him at like... It can attack directly. Skill Drain's on the field. $31. Okay. And we will pass the turn on these two big beefy monsters. No problem. Little laggy for my opponent, no big deal. Graceful Charity comes next. I think if he Heavy Storms, I will probably Chain Ring on the Fusilier. I would love if he uses, I mean, he has nothing to Premature Burial, so maybe he like discards something, activates Premature Burial, and then I can Chain Ring of Destruction, because that would be enough for game. That'd be a pretty funny way to win. Discards Chain Energy. Okay. And so he's playing a burn deck. Very interesting. Skill Drain against a Panda Burn deck is actually decent, but it also isn't because you're using so many life points. Also, Final Attack Orders probably isn't too good. Trunade next. We will Chain Ring of Destruction, targeting Fusilier. He Book of Moons the Fusilier. That's fine, okay. So this comes to hand. Ring of Destruction goes to the graveyard. Okay, I was going to say, Book does not go back to your hand, sir. No big deal, he caught it very fast, just a little misclick. Fusilier is at 2,000 defense. Sets a back row, 2 back row, and a monster. We draw Delinquent Duo. Let's go ahead, flip summon Fusilier. We'll activate Delinquent Duo, paying 1,000. Hitting... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take 1,400. Hitting the middle card from his hand. Hitting a Des Koala and an Injection Fairy Lily. Here, then I think we summon Goblin Attack Force. Activate Nobleman, and hope it's not Mirror Force. Cyberjar. It is a Mirror Force. Lovely. You gotta love to see it. Okay. We get punished, but we're still technically ahead on cards, and we have big beefy monsters. That's what I like to see. Giant Rat, we will go ahead and Mirror Force this right away. We get Giant Orc this time. Attack directly. And we'll set the skill drain. We get Deck Dev. That's pretty solid. We'll use the skill drain, paying 1,000. Change this to attack, because now we can. Nightmare Wheel. Okay. We'll set Deck Dev and use it right away so we don't take any damage from Nightmare Wheel. Destroys his Morphing Jar. That was a fantastic hit. Alright, and Ring of Destruction. So that's a pretty much a dead card. One out of 3 on Deck Dev. We got a Judgment. That's pretty good. Pays a lot of life points, but we'll be able to negate whatever he puts on the board. Gets Giant Trunade. Passes, we get Final Attack Orders. And last turn for the Deck Dev. And just desserts. Okay, so we should have a win if we draw a monster. Come on, just any monster. Any monster in our deck will do it. Rhoda will do it. DD Warrior Lady will do it. Summon DD Warrior Lady. Attack directly. Okay, so let's bring in Walks and Token Thanksgivings. Definitely take out some Final Attack Orders. I think all the Final Attack Orders, unfortunately. Skill Drain's still pretty good. What else do we want? Possessed a Dark Soul could be pretty dang interesting, so I want to bring that in. Deck Dev seems pretty good. Maybe some fake traps. Dust Tornadoes could also be pretty good. Take out... What do we want to take out? Duo is powerful. Maybe like the Judgments. Just because they kind of serve a similar purpose, but I don't have to pay half my life points against a burn deck. So that's what we're going to do there. Pot of Greed, Goblin Attack Force, Nobleman across out, DD Warrior Lady, Mystic Walk. I think it's a pretty solid opening hand, if I do say so myself. He sets a back row and passes turn. We get Graceful Charity. Okay, you love to see Graceful and Pot in the opening hand. Getting Nobleman and Snatch Steal. We'll then activate the Graceful Charity. Getting Goblin Attack Force. Token Thanksgiving. That's a great card. And Fusilier. We'll definitely, I think, discard Fusilier. And one Nobleman. Because it's not the best against Panda Burn. It hits like Duskwalla and Giant Rat potentially, but they often summon the rat. And I think we're just going to go ahead and summon DD Warrior Lady and try to attack. Nightmare Wheels. Okay. Fine by me. We will, I think, just pass our turn there. He can't really attack. I don't want to necessarily Mystic Walk. I mean, he can attack, but DD Warrior Lady still has its effect. We'll take 500 from the Nightmare Wheel. We still have one Nobleman to cross out. And we get Skill Drain. That's fantastic. So we'll go ahead. Summon Goblin Attack Force. Nobleman face down. It was a Duskwalla. I'd like to see that, because that's a flip that can do a good amount of damage. And I probably am only going to do... Yeah, it's already 34 minutes. Okay. I don't know why I thought this video was going fast. And attack with Goblin Attack Force. Which will go to defense. Then we will set the skill drain. And... do I set Mystic Walk? I think I do. We'll take another 500. But Mystic Walk, contribute DD Warrior Lady or the Goblin Attack Force. He sets a back row, 2 back row, and passes turn. We get Deck Dev, not the best in this situation. We'll activate the skill drain though. Change Goblin Attack Force to attack. And I don't think I want to play in... that's a bunch of damage we could do right away. He, I think, would have flipped a Ojama Trio, but I'm worried it could be Just Desserts, could be Secret Barrel, but if there's Torrential or Mirror Force, that's just too bad for us. Ring of Destruction. I'm assuming targeting Goblin Attack Force. So we'll eat 3,300. Main phase 2. We'll summon another Goblin Attack Force. And we will use the Mystic Walk here. We'll gain 1,600. Because it's attack or defense. And then we'll pass turn. I think putting 2,300 damage on him with the Ring of Destruction was worth it. Maybe I could have changed the Mystic Walk to the Just Desserts and I would have taken 500 less. He has Smashing Ground. Unfortunate, but what can you do? Summons a Giant Rat. We'll take 14. That's not the best target for Snatch Steal, just because obviously it allows him to get another monster. We get Call of the Haunted, though. I think we'll set the Call of the Haunted and pass turn. Reinforcement of the army. That's fine. What's he going to get? Zombira. Okay. Interesting he's playing Zombira. Graceful Charities. Also fine. So he's deck thinning a little bit before activating the Graceful. Draws 3. Maybe he's going to discard the Zombira. Giant Rat is decent under Skill Drain, but all the cards he can get... I mean, I suppose Exiled Force is probably one of the better ones he can get. Discards Swords of Revealing Light and Sangan. Summons Zombira. That's fine. And here, we activate the call, targeting, I think, Fusilier. It's just the biggest monster. Book of Moons, the Fusilier, which will go to the graveyard. We'll take 1,400. Sets a back row, passes turn. We get Delinquent Duo draw. Here, I think we have to Snatch Steal. I mean, yeah, we have to Snatch Steal. Taking the Zombira. Attack over the Giant Rat. Mirror Force. Well, we're not quite dead yet. We will set Delinquent Duo and the Deck Dev and hope he doesn't have a monster. He has a Morphing Jar. Alright, so he gets game 2 and game 3. I think Heavy Storm is going to be decent in this matchup. Take out one Fusilier just because we have one less skill drain to work with. Though Fusilier, yeah, I think Fusilier is a slightly worse card than Goblin Attack Force in this matchup. Though, actually, maybe it's better because we have more skill drains than we do Final Attack Orders, because we took all the Final Attack Orders out, because I don't think Final Attack Orders is too good when your opponent, like I've said, is running Ojama. Likely, we haven't seen it yet, but Catburn, I mean, we haven't seen a... Have we seen a Panda? You don't run this deck without running Panda. I don't see why you would do that. Possessed a Dark Soul maybe isn't quite as good as, like... Maybe Torrential Tribute. Breaker could also be pretty decent. I don't know. Maybe over one Nobleman. No, I like what we got. So let's just see how this goes. I think Deck Dev is incredibly powerful here. I would love if we open up Deck Dev right now. Alright, opening hand. Zombira, Giant Orc, Rhoda, Dust Tornado, MST. So I think here we will Rhoda right away for DD Warrior Lady. I like when I don't have like any real back row to start with a DD Warrior Lady, just because in my mind it kind of protects us from a monster attack. It's kind of like removal, and it's in and of itself. Is that the phrase? I don't even know. It's one of those things I just say, and I've never really thought about it. But we set Dust Tornado behind the DD Warrior Lady to potentially just pop any back row he sets right here. Opponent is, got A rating. We have a slightly higher, but still pretty early. He summons Giant Rat. And, come on, don't set more back row. He sets more back row. We'll Dust Tornado the first. Sakuretsu Armor. Okay, happy to see that gone. We get Zombira. We'll MST the other one. And Mirror Force. Okay, so great hits just gone immediately. And I think we'll go Giant Orc first. Attack and banish the Giant Rat. And then attack with Giant Orc. Setting that to defense. I don't think we set the Rhoda quite yet. Little afraid. I mean, it might bait out a True Nade, but it could also bait out an MST or Heavy Storm. Maybe not Heavy Storm, though, because he set 2 back row here that aren't chainable. He has Giant Rat. We'll just attack right over the Giant Orc. We get Fusilier. And here, I think I will Rhoda for Exiled Force. Just don't want him getting the Rat effect. And pass our turn. Skill Drain would be pretty great right now. Injection Fairy Lily. So we're taking big damage, boys. Assuming he wants to pay the 2,000. He does. Okay. We get a Giant Orc of our own. And if we summon... Let's think here. If we summon Zombira or Giant Orc, it would force him to use Injection Fairy Lily. We would lose our monster. If we do the Zombira, we would take 1,300 and he'd be at 17. But he couldn't use the Fairy Lily again. So I think we're going to go for this play. It also, if he has a Book of Moon, Fairy Lily can't get over Zombira. But it could get over Giant Orc, so I think Zombira is the right choice. We take 100 more damage if he uses the Fairy Lily effect. But the same premise stays. Okay. So we'll take 1,300. He takes 2,000, putting himself at 17, and we just pass our turn. He has Rhoda. For Exiled Force. Does he summon Exiled right away? changes Fairy Lily to defense and summons the exiled. We'll take 1,000. We get Goblin Attack Force. Here, I think we go with the Zombira again and try to attack over exiled. He has Book of Moon. So he sets it, and we have to pass. Where's all our back row this time? I like this matchup. Like, very aggro and kind of interesting with a skill drain and final attack orders versus a Panda Burn deck. Though we haven't seen... Did we see Pandas the first game? I don't, like, maybe it's not Panda Burn. Maybe it's just like Warrior Earth Toolbox with the giant rats, but I don't know. I feel like you gotta run the Rescue Cat Panda stuff when you're running a Panda Burn. Or at least the pandas. They're just too powerful of cards. He does Tribute, getting rid of Zombira. Summons Giant Rat. We'll take 1,400. And he passes. We get Ring of Destruction. So I actually think here... Let's think. If we summon Goblin Attack Force... I think we summon but don't attack. We could do 900 to him, which would put him at 8. I do think we'll go for it. We'll take the risk. It goes through. That goes to defense. And he's going to summon something with a giant rat. Summons a panda. That is unfortunate because panda, the way its effect works is it does gain, and Ring of Destruction is not attack in the graveyard, it's attack when it's on the field. So, we'll go ahead here. And it will be a draw. Ojama Trio. Okay, I mean, yeah. So, I think we've been playing it pretty well so far, but let's go back in with the same thing, and let's pick Rock this time. We win, okay, that's a big advantage. That's one first normal summon that we're going to be able to get right away. Nobleman, Call of the Haunted, Skill Drain, Dust, Tornado, Double Zombira. We'll summon a Zombira, set Skill Drain, set Dust, pass turn. He sets 1 back row, 2 back row, 3 back row, 4 back row, passes turn. Alright, we get Token Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead, summon Zombira. We get some Ojama tokens. We'll activate Skill Drain, paying 1,000, and try to attack. Ring of Destruction. Alright, we'll take 2,100. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I should have used 2,000, 2,500. One, two, three, 25 from desserts, 2,000 from barrel. That's including the Zombira on the field. I took all the damage. And we'll attack with the other Zombira. No problem. So he takes 42. Main phase 2 will activate Token Thanksgiving, destroy these 3, gain 2,400, and then minus 900. Setting Call of the Haunted and passing turn. And we'll Dust Tornado and we win. GG's. Very. Yeah, I mean, he had some cards. Not quite enough, though. Alright, does he have anything else to say besides fun? Nope. Okay. We will go to the deck profile. And yeah, I think the deck performed pretty well. Got a couple of match wins. Yeah, I like it. You know, do I think it's the best deck? Absolutely not. The version I saw online, I think had like 2 final attack orders. I do like the ability, though, that depending on the matchup, you can kind of just be like, you know, final attack orders isn't good. Like, say you're playing a warrior matchup. Well, final attack orders isn't really good, because pretty much they're summoning all their monsters in attack anyways. Sure, it is decent, because it, again, works either orc and attack force. But, like, sometimes skill drain's better in a matchup, like a, you know, chaos matchup. But against, like, that Panda Burn deck, we've already said many times, final attack orders just wasn't good at all, because you don't want those Ojama tokens going to attack. That was also clutch. I don't know, I also, in my mind, was like the math was that I just lost immediately and was thinking I should have used the Token Thanksgiving right away, but hey, Token Thanksgiving came in clutch, absolutely. Great card against Burn. Mystic walked it a little bit, not as much as I maybe wish it did. Possessed Dark Soul, you did nothing, but still love you anyways. Just like I love you all. But that's it from me today. 52 minutes, actually a pretty good video, you know, not too short, not too long. Thank you all for watching. I am the YuGiOh Scrub, and goodbye.